matters of use of force is concerned. And I want to assure the country that this is the first policy directive I'm giving since I became CS. In Samburu, and next week we'll be in Baringo and Elgeyo Marakwet. And as you know, this belt of Kerio Valley has a serious challenge of banditry. To be very honest, out of all these counties we have mentioned, this is the most, at the moment, the most affected county, where we still have serious challenges between Samburu County, Turkana and Baringo County. And we still have quite significant a challenge in that corner, especially along the Malaso belt. And our main objective today is to see how we can better our strategies insofar as the operation is concerned, security operation. We have a few criminals who are still roaming around this that belt that I have spoken to, and many of whom are causing havoc between the two communities. There has been consistent stealing of livestock. Police officers in this operation area have tried their best to recover, and some of the recoveries have been successful, 100%, and others 50%. We are unlucky that in some of these instances we have lost lives. This is an area that also we have a serious challenge of highway robbery, particularly the road between here in Maralal up to Baragoi. And it is a challenge because of the situation within the roads, where criminals have ambushed public service vehicles, police vehicles, vehicles carrying prisoners, and that has persisted for some time. The good news is that the government of Kenya is going to tarmac the road from Maralal to Baragoi. Already the tender has been advertised. We believe that the procurement process will be completed soon, and we expect that the contractor will be given the work, will start renovating the road ahead of works, ahead of the full tarmacking of this road. This poor infrastructure in Samburu is one of the greatest contributors towards insecurity, and it is the reason why there are safe havens for criminals in some of the parts, because they are inaccessible. There are no roads in most of these parts. If you go to Samburu East, for example, the reason why it's a safe haven, especially those areas of Lapendera, among others, is a safe haven for many of the criminals, because it's inaccessible for security operations. And going forward, we are going to be working together with the Ministry of Roads to make sure that security roads are improved. We already have a conversation on how we will do this, but the tarmacking of this road will make a significant difference in this area. The other issue is because of area coverage network for this area. Some of these areas are inaccessible in terms of communication. Already we have spoken to the Safaricom, Airtel and other network operators. Particularly we are working with Communication Authority of Kenya to see how we can get resources that will support these telecommunication companies to put in place communication networks that can help us access these places. We are also making sure that security operations target not just the perpetrators of the crimes, but also the financiers, together with their supporters, inciters. Some of the issues that are also causing conflict here is land issues. There are land issues between communities internally, but also this county and the neighboring counties. Competition about boundary, invasion of areas for personal and for expansionist kind of interest that people have, that they could like to push the boundary between here and there. And as I said yesterday when I was in West Pokot, boundary issues persist across the country, and our recommendation already is towards having a multi-agency interministerial framework of locating the 1992 district boundaries, to make sure that it doesn't matter if you come from which community. If you are Samburu and you find yourself that your boundary takes you to Marsabit, then you are a Samburu in Marsabit, and there is nothing wrong with that. We just want to make sure that we identify the boundaries, not because we want our people to live apart from each other, but to avoid this conflict over resources and administrative boundaries that are causing conflict. The other issue is about land, and there is adjudication process happening in some parts of Samburu, and some of it also is causing jittery and conflict among the communities, and we will be also finding ways of ensuring that land adjudication is going to be done in a manner that will not cause conflict. The other cause of conflict here is resource competition, especially mining. The possibility that you have various resources in different parts of this county and this region, just the same way we saw it in West Pokot and Turkana, the same problem persists in this county insofar as mining and mining resources and mineral resources becoming a catalyst towards conflict among these communities here. There is a massive proliferation of small arms here, of course, because of our porous border. You all know that we border just next door in Marsabit, we border Ethiopia. The border to Somalia is not far. The border to South Sudan is not far. The problem of Kerio Valley is the same. It's about porous border that makes it easy to access ammunitions and guns. And again, we will continue intensifying our operations and patrols across the our border with our neighbors to make sure that we get rid of these ammunitions. We are also going to have targeted operations to deal with the traffickers of guns and ammunitions. Samburu again is also a victim of human trafficking. Because of the operations we are doing in the parts of Marsabit, some of the human trafficking is happening across here. And that goes with also drugs. And there are a lot of drugs along this road targeting Nairobi because they come from neighboring country and they use Samburu as a route. And we have done, our security officers have done a very good job to arrest a number of these drug traffickers, a number of these aliens that are trafficked through this place. We will also be continuing intensifying and targeting the main barons who are facilitating these drugs. It is important to note that some of this livestock that is stolen, there are some markets here that they sell livestock to buyers who take it again to Nairobi and beyond. We have told our intelligence and security team to apprehend the buyers and target those buyers who are catalyzing this cattle rustling in this region. As a security team, we know that this county also requires a lot of support. Particularly, we want to think of how we can improve access to security services and seeing how we can increase the number of police stations. Maybe in the next, in this financial year and the next one, we can build another 3 or so police stations that can help us access these very marginalized areas. We also want to operationalize Samburu West sub-county, and in another 2 or 3 weeks we will have posted the sub-county, the DCC, Deputy County Commissioner, and I'll be coming back here with our team to see that that is operationalized, including the divisions that were already gazetted, particularly in the most marginalized areas, so that we can take government closer to the people. We look forward to a very successful forum, and I thank you all for being with us. Look forward to now summarizing these issues later by the leaders during the forum. Asante sana. Do we have any 2, 3 questions?
2 quick questions, Waziri.
Yeah.
One.
And you introduce yourself.
My name is Boniface Paras.
Okay, Boniface.
I work with Citizen TV.
Okay.
2 quick questions. You've talked of porous border. Initially, during your predecessor with the current deputy president, kulikuwa na operationi ya kuwapokonya wakazi silaha haramu.
Yeah.
How successful was it?
Yeah.
2, you served as the cabinet secretary for Ruto'S, and when this county lost area MCA, you came.
Yeah.
You are loaded of the same.
Yeah.
And many will be asking if development could be the way to tame banditry in this
Absolutely.
region.
Absolutely.
How soon will Baragoi Road be done and be a thing of the past?
You remember when I came here as a CS roads, I promised that the road from Maralal to Baragoi will be done. And you know, the work of a CS is not his own personal work. It's for the government of Kenya, so it doesn't depend on the person who is sitting in office. And during my tenure, we did the design, and now we have moved. We have reached a stage where advertisement has been done. I can confidently tell the people of Samburu that this road will be done now under this administration. Hopefully, you know, the road construction takes 2 or 3 years, but as long as it begins this year, this calendar year, not this financial year, it will have begun. And we hope that beyond Baragoi, we can now look for other resources to move. Our intention is to make sure that it goes to North Hor and opens this corridor completely. That one will be done. Maybe where you can ask how long we will do the other security roads, it now depends on the resources we will discuss with the Ministry of Roads, and we will open the ones we will be able to open. On the question of Operation Maliza Walivu, a number of guns were recovered. I think I should be able to, during the forum, to tell the public how many we did. But let me tell you the biggest challenge in the entire this place. You recover some, they buy others because of the porous border. So biggest challenge is that consistent supply of ammunitions, guns and ammunitions is making it very difficult for us to get rid of this problem completely. And so the thing is that we must continue these targeted operations that involves intelligence, that involves also border patrol, working together in multi-agency approach with the KDF. The operation that is going on in Marsabit needs to be perhaps continued towards the Turkana side, and we see how best we can ensure that we can secure the border. The thing that if we were able to really manage is these sellers of ammunitions. Because sometimes the people can have guns, but if you can stop the supply of bullets, it may help us to stem this problem. And so the security team is working on something that will tackle the supply chain for the ammunition so that we can be able to deal with this problem. Maybe let me use this opportunity also to say that in the part of the NPR, National Police Service, pursuant to also this Jukwaa la Usalama, we agreed at the beginning of in the other counties that we will need a policy on NPR, how they are recruited, who do they report to, how will they be held accountable, and we are almost finalizing that NPR policy, including how rangers that are managing various conservancies, whether they are county rangers, private conservancies, and so forth, can work together with the security officers to help us deal with insecurity. We are happy also to work in a multi-agency way so that KWS officers and the forest rangers in forests like Murkomen, for example, can help us deal with the criminals that want to hide inside government forests.
So yes, maybe talk about the policy on the use of fire.
Okay, maybe I should talk about it here, to say that I promised the country on Tuesday that I was going to speak. I was going to release today policy directions pursuant to Article 245(4) of the Constitution of Kenya. I was going to issue a policy directive to the IG to make sure that we make it very clear from the Office of the Cabinet Secretary on behalf of the Government of Kenya and the Executive, and pursuant to constitutional provisions on how the police officers can manage use of firearm and use of force when carrying out their responsibilities, whether dealing with bandits here or dealing with criminals in urban areas or dealing with goons. The good news is today, this morning, I have dispatched the policy to the IG, and it will be shared to the public, giving various recommendations on how they can be able to use force, when they can use force, what is the prevailing legal framework, including incorporating decisions of the court insofar as matters of use of force is concerned. And I want to assure the country that this is the first policy directive I'm giving since I became CS nearly 8 months ago, and this is the only prevailing policy directive on use of force and use of firearm by police officers to either protect themselves and protect members of public, and also when dealing with and apprehending criminals. The policy will be shared officially with all of you, and the contents of that policy will then be cascaded down by the IG through the existing framework to ensure that this matter now, which has attracted a lot of public discourse in the recent past, especially after my visit to Dagoretti and Kikuyu police station, I thought it was necessary to put these policy directives in paper so that I can be held to account by the people of Kenya, and that now IG can have something to work on. People should stop this idea that I had directed IG in any way in the past. The only policy directive that is legally binding to the IG, and which can be properly debated by the people of Kenya, is the one that I have put in writing and in signature, and with my signature as required by the Constitution. Shaban?
Waziri, you're privy to this policy.
Yes.
Je, inaonyesha kwamba pengine katika sheria za nchi kuna upungufu, kwa sababu kuna madai kwamba pengine kwa kuanza sera hiyo mpya ama mwelekeo huo mpya inaonyesha kwamba labda kuna utepetevu wa kutekeleza mwongozo wa sheria.
Ningependa kusema kwamba saa zingine policy ambayo inaweza ama sera ambayo inaweza tolewa ni inafafanua zaidi sheria na inasaidia kujaza pengo yenye inaweza kuwa katika mambo ya sheria. Na kama vile nilisema, kuna pia maamuzi tayari yameamuliwa na koti ambayo yanahusiana na mambo ya utumizi wa nguvu kwa polisi na utumizi wa bunduki, na ilikuwa vizuri kwamba niweke hiyo katika maandishi. Pia ilikuwa ni vizuri nieleze ni jinsi gani polisi watasaidiwa na wata-communicate namna gani wakati wametumia mambo ya firearm, mpaka hata kutafanyika nini kwa askari ambaye anashukiwa kwamba ametumia firearm, atasaidiwa namna gani kwa National Police Service, legal services yao itafanywa namna gani. Hiyo yote nimeweka katika hiyo policy directive, na itazinduliwa rasmi wakati nitakuwa nimewapatia leo kwa mkutano wa leo, na ninaamini ya kwamba italete discussion ambayo inafaa katika taifa letu, na kama kutakuwa na mambo mengine itasaidia kuboresha zaidi, nitahakikisha kwamba imeongezwa katika hiyo policy. Last one.
On the policy directive, have you also captured, there was a control on the how police wear during the protest, or when they are going to various duties, covering of the faces? Have you also captured that?
Policy direction was not on protest. The policy direction was use of firearm. And the policy direction is not use of firearm during protest. It is use of firearm at any time, anywhere, including when you are dealing with criminals, thugs, bandits. You know, the paradox in this country is that, and I said it yesterday, people are happy when we tell them, you know, the police officers had to use firearm to deal with bandits. Yeah? But when they deal with similar criminals in urban areas, they will say, no, don't use firearm. It is the mentality that is fomented around this feeling that people from marginalized areas are less of citizens than the ones that are in urban and developed areas. This policy applies everywhere. If the life of a police officer is in danger in Malaso Valley, he must be able to protect himself in Malaso the same way he's protecting himself in Dagoretti. You know, that policy must apply across the country equally. And so it has captured that position. It has captured also the court's decision of Justice Mrima in Kitale on the use of force. So all those issues have been captured.
Specific on the attire.
Attire is not use of force. No, that one, if there will be need for attire, that will be a different policy.
There was a direction on covering of the faces.
That is why I'm saying use of force by a police officer. This is how to use a firearm, not how we will dress. We will come to, if there will be, I don't see there is any confusion at the moment on how a police officer dresses. Should I find myself in a situation where that matter is of national importance and that I feel that there is a gap, I will also try to give a policy direction the same. For now, it is about use of force and use of firearm.
Thank you, Waziri. Probably
Thank you.
the governor should say something.
No, we are not saying anything else now at this place, at that point. Don't call.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, governor ni baadaye. Ndio ku set up governor yangu hapa. Na mambo ya Yusuf.